Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's great to have you here as always. You're watching the VSO Gun Channel, and we are out here on the range today. We're going to be doing a little bit of a practical demonstration as it relates to pistols. Specifically to pistol sights, but I guess this also applies to all iron sights, well actually all sights period. But it is most prolific when it comes to pistol sights because oftentimes pistol sights are fixed. So if we were to think about these sights and we think about our eye connecting these two sights together, and this happens with all types of sights, you look in a straight line down those sights, and that line of sight is projected downrange to wherever the target is. Well, if you also think about the relationship between the sights and the barrel points downrange as well in a straight line. However, if we were to fire a bullet straight parallel with the ground, and parallel with the sights, or the line of sight, if you will, then the bullet would come straight out, and remember back to high school physics class that gravity is going to take over immediately and start pulling that bullet down towards the earth. So it will never reach the height of the sights. Now, pistol sights, again, the deviation is negligible because they're pretty close to the barrel, but think about rifle sights, specifically on like an AR or something like that. You got a couple inches of offset between the bore and the height of the sights. To accomplish this, what we do is design sights in a way where the sights actually cant downward ever so slightly, and that requires us, when we line them up, to actually elevate the barrel ever so slightly so that they appear to be in a straight line. And what that does is actually fire the bullet diagonally upward, so there is a vertical component to the velocity and a lateral component to the velocity. The bullet will actually rise above the height of the sights, and then after gravity has depleted that, I think I got him. Maybe. After we've depleted that vertical component of the velocity with gravity, it is then going to fall back down to the level of the sights and then keep on going down as it's, of course, continuing to move outward. So it's important, specifically on pistol sights, to know what that profile looks like because they don't really move a whole lot. You could drift this sight, for instance, like this to adjust its windage, but by and large the elevation is pretty much fixed and it's dependent on the range. So what we're going to do today, this is a set of XS sights. These are the dual illuminated ones, ones with tritium vial in the front. This one is a blacked out rear sight, and then it has a photoluminescent band right there that charges up whenever it's introduced to any kind of ambient light. So it glows all the time no matter what, basically. Now, XS has a Memorial Day sale going on right now. I think it ends the 31st of May, and I think it's 25% off site-wide. We're going to be running 115 grain ball today. This is the stuff that I typically use on the range, is 115 grain Fiocchi. You obviously need to do this test with whatever carry ammunition it is that you are using. And then the holster that I'm going to be running today is the same thing I've been testing for a couple months. This is the Mission First Tactical Pro Series holster. For those of you who haven't seen anything on it, this is a retention holster that actually does not lock on the light. You can see that there is no light on there. It has a strut and a magnet in there that it basically locks up on. You can see it's in there nice and tight. So you don't actually have to have a light to lock up on. Down here at the other end of the range, and basically what I've done here is set up a target at my height, and I've drawn a thick line through the center of it, so I know that I've got a good aiming point, even all the way down there where my eyes that aren't what they once were can still maybe have a chance. So we're going to start at 7 yards, and then we're going to start walking it on back. This is our 21 feet or 7 yards. Pretty much right on the money at 7 yards. 14 yards. Again, right on the money. 28 yards. Bad shot right there. And now I've walked it all the way back to 50. See what we could do. Right here. That's a 50. Also, you guys are seeing a trend here, right? Things are kind of walking this direction. I think I need to evaluate how I've got those sights set. Looks like there's a pretty consistent deviation to the right going on here. I'm going to aim slightly to the left this time to see if we can keep it on the paper. That was almost bad. I heard paper impact. Future Kurt, remember, don't shoot your truck. Yeah, right here. And that is lower than that. You know, the thing's kind of sideways there a little bit. But clearly I held too far to the left. But you can see it's coming back down. We're going to try 100 yards. And I'm going to do my best not to shoot my truck. Hopefully that isn't some foreshadowing. Here we go. I heard impact. What do you guys think? I think I got the calibration on that whole windage problem down. You'll notice I didn't shoot a second shot. All right, so let's go over the measurements here. At 7 yards, we're shooting roughly 0.6 inches low. We're dead nuts at 14 yards. At 28 yards, we're doing 3.2 inches high. 50, 4.4 inches high. 75, we're coming back down at 4.1 inches. And then 3.7 inches at 100 yards. So what does that mean in terms of practical applications in the real world? Well, that means that pretty much everything inside of 100 yards, you can point of aim, point of impact with a set of sights like that. Probably out to 120 yards. We didn't shoot 120 yards, but I would guess just based on the math that that's probably where it would land. So anyway, that's all for today. Remember, XS is having a Memorial Day sale. Use that to great effect, and we'll hopefully see you on another video here at the VSO Gun Channel.